we have to go into import to be importing food. So we are going to be using our own hard-earned foreign reserve forests to import food into the country, which is what people have been complaining, that a lot of import is going on with the side of food. So I think government need to invest those money in the Nigerian economy, in the Nigerian agricultural sector. When you are importing, you are giving other people's job. But when you are producing it locally, you are creating job opportunity for your own population. And that will, in return, reduce insecurity that is related to unemployment.
I like the fact that you've been able to dissect and break this down in a very simple way for everyone to understand the measures from the farmers, what role the government needs to do in terms of subsidizing the fertilizer challenge. Because of course, if you're producing, or this is the harvest rate, like you mentioned, a bag of onion is going for 30,000 naira. How many bags would you have to sell to be able to get that fertilizer that should be able to give you the next season? Because like you said, this is the harvesting period. But my colleague will be in the studio and he has something to throw at you. Mukhtar is here.
Thank you very much for your insight. You've been able to give us the breakdown. So my question to you right now is, you've said Nigeria has been a hub and we've been exporting to even our neighboring countries and we've been able to reap a lot of finances. So what are those factors that have guided or have influenced this boom, if you like? And then what are the states, what states in Nigeria now are helping us get this particular thrive? And then what can other states also do to catch up to make sure that Nigeria's onion farm or onion sector becomes a very big mainstay of our economy in terms of agriculture?
Yeah. Thank you very much. You know, a subsector contributing 1.17 trillion naira to the economy of Nigeria, of course, is very huge when you consider that. And if you understand that onion is mainly grown in the northern part of the country, Sokoto State is the largest onion producing state in Nigeria. We have Sokoto, we have Kebbi, we have Zamfara, we have Kano, we have Kaduna, we have Jigawa, we have Gombe, we have Yobe, we have Borno, and then Katsina. Then we have Jos, Plateau Jos. These states that I've mentioned are contributing tremendously to the onion production in Nigeria. Then we have other states. Of course, all states in the northeast and northwest produce, but the ones that I just mentioned, the likes of Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, Kano, Jigawa, Gombe, Yobe, Borno, Jos, Plateau Jos, they are the largest onion producing state in the country. Then all other states now will now follow suit, like Katsina and the rest. So when you go to them in the southwest, you have Lagos, you have Ogun, and you have Lagos, you have Ogun, you have Oshun. I think they are doing well with the greenhouse onion production. That is really going well with them. Then in the southeast, we have Abia coming up, but not much. I have tried to, I partner with one professor in Imo State to take onion production to Imo, but that has really not performed very well. But in South, we have Edo State and Delta. They are really trying the production. So every production, whether it is 1 ton, 2 ton, of course, is contributing to the total annual production. But we are doing very well with other partners to see how we expand onion production in the South, because at the end of the day, we want to be the largest hub for onion production in Africa, so that this onion can be exported not only to the neighboring countries, but to Europe, Asia, and the rest. I can remember in 2020, when there were global scarcity of onion, I know India currently are the largest onion producer in the world, producing about 24 million metric tons of onion. But I think the High Commissioner of India wrote to the Minister of Agriculture at that time that they want Nigerian to supply India onion. So, and then that to tell you that you cannot underestimate our potentials. You cannot underestimate the opportunity that we have. You cannot also underestimate the value of our onion. We have one of the best onion in the global market because of its pungency, the flavor, the taste, the color of Nigerian onion is one of the best. We produce all the different kinds of variety that you know of because we are blessed with different kind of agro climates, ranging from the savanna, the rainforest, the mangrove, the savanna, like I said, whether Sudan, Sahel, and the Guinea savanna. So we are really blessed in terms of that. We will not take that for granted. So, like I said, Nigerian onion industry is growing, and with the current intervention, we have gotten intervention from the National Agricultural Development Fund, NADF, that invested about 2 billion, almost 2 billion naira to cushion the effect of the importation of a fake or adulterated onion seed from Algeria in 2024-2025 growing season that makes farmers to suffer losses amounting to billions of naira. So the federal government, through the National Agricultural Development Fund, decided to intervene to vulnerable onion farmers in that magnitude. I think the production is out and the result is very good and the price is very stable. And even the farmer are complaining that the price is really down. So we can give kudos to the federal government for their intervention through NADF. And also the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security have also done a lot through their horticultural department. We can also give kudos to the Minister of Agriculture, HFA, Abubakar Kyari. They have really supported our farmers in Gombe, in Kano, Gombe, Kano, and I think Adamawa. They have really done a lot to that, Kano, Gombe, and Adamawa. Why the NADF intervention was in Sokoto, Kebbi, Yobe, and Borno State. I think that we are seeing improvement in the onion subsector as to what the government are doing. And recently, they are trying to also work on the post-harvest losses. You know, we have a 10,000 onion storage facility in Kano, 10,000 metric tons onion storage facility, which is also helping us to reduce our post-harvest losses. Of course, we are producing 2.2 million metric tons, but a joining of a million miles start with a step. At least 10,000 is a good distance to start. And also the Ministry of Finance Incorporated, MOFI, also intervening in the post-harvest infrastructure. They embark on groundbreaking in Sokoto, I think in collaboration with Sokoto State Government and a private firm to construct onion storage facility of about, I think, 11,000 metric tons, but to start with 350 metric tons from the beginning. So I think the subsector is recording a boost. We are getting a transformation. And we also have an onion processing plant that is going to process about 30,000 metric tons into flakes and powder in Sokoto here by a firm called Dawif Onion and Garlic Processing Limited. So, but that is not in operation. But in partnership with MOFI, they are doing everything possible to make sure that that firm is in operation so that Nigerian cannot be importing onion flakes and powder when we have the fresh or the raw material abundant in our country. We are currently importing onion flakes and powder from India and China, and we are losing our foreign reserve. So there is a need for Nestle and Unilever and Dolce, Dangote Seasonings, Indomie, and name it all, for them to do their possible best to localize their source of raw material, so that they will in turn be giving job opportunity to the citizens of the country who are also buying their products.
Concerns. I like the fact that you've walked us through the processing part, because that's very important for those who want to travel, who don't want to carry it in the bulky way. It needs to be blended, and I see your efforts there where you partner with a lot of stakeholders to see how measures can be done to that. So we also have to import and not always, export, or export rather than importing most of the time. So let's come down home a bit and talk about some challenges or concerns. Now, one of the biggest concerns raised by farmers across the northern Nigeria is insecurity, which is something we cannot, throw away by the side. The question now is, we hear some troubling reports that some farmers are forced to pay bandits before they can access their farms. I needed to guide us through that. How widespread is this problem within the onion farming communities, from the farms to the markets? With the insecurity challenges, how do the farmers find their way across this challenge of insecurity? Because you've talked about the boom and the progress you've made, but of course we know there are concerns in terms of the insecurity and accessing the market. So talk to us about paying their way through to access the markets or access the farm.
Yeah, thank you very much. Insecurity is a very sensitive area to always talk about, but sometimes it's good to, I think, set the record straight and make the information available, so that people will not ask why. Of course, there is insecurity in the northern part of the countries, like most especially these 3 states that I have mentioned: Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara. Then you talk about even Borno and Yobe. Then we are still producing massively in those areas. What are the strategies that is enabling that increase in production? Like I used to tell people that the farmers have developed a kind of a coping strategy to that insecurity issues that is bedeviling all the communities of these most onion producing areas. One of this thing is that the farmers have decided to take the bull by the horn by setting up of their own vigilante. They have their own vigilante, that is the local security network within each communities. So that is one of the strategy. They decided to protect their community. They decided that, okay, they must face these bandits. They must face these kidnappers that are coming to attack them. So one of the strategy, of course, when a bandit is coming to attack you and you are ready to defend yourself, of course, that will make the enemy to also retreat and also consider other options, but not to think that he's going to attack you freely. The second method is that most of the state government have also took it upon themselves to organize a kind of a state security guard that were trained by security personnel that were also armed with some local guns like that to protect their community. I think some of those that security guard, the members or the security guard personnel has been selected from those communities. So they know their communities very well. So they select them from the community. They were trained and given some of these local guns so that they will use it to protect the community. And that one is really working very well. And another strategy, again, that the community also adopted is the negotiation. Like what you see is happening in like places like Katsina. Maybe it's not in Katsina alone. It's happening everywhere. The community are negotiating with the bandits to say, okay, please, let's live very peaceful amongst ourselves. what you are doing to us or whatsoever is happening to you is not we that cause it, but you are fighting us. But let's live peaceful amongst ourselves. This, that. So in another way, again, this thought strategy is also working. Then the last strategy that is working, that some community are also contributing money to pay the bandit for them to have their peace to go about doing their normal life activity. So you can add this 4 strategy. One is the vigilante within the community that was set up. 2 is the state security guard from the state government to support what the community is doing. 3rd is the building relationship and trying to resolve conflicts. But the community are trying to live peaceful with the bandit by their own conflict mechanism, resolution, and so on and so forth. And the 4th one is paying the bandits an amount of money so that they can go about doing their lawful activities. So when you put all this together, then that is the coping strategy. A lot of communities, a lot of local government, and a lot of places are using. So that is why you see, even despite the insecurity, of course, you too can attest that when it comes to production, it's on the increase, whether it's maize, whether it's onion, garlic, tomato, and everything. And if you even look, I saw a report from Punch that Nigeria is being rated as one of the countries that is wasting food, because they consider Nigeria is wasting almost 34 something metric tons of their post-harvest losses. So, so if you consider that, then you know that our farmers are determined, they are resilient, and they have that determination to make sure they feed even the country, even at their own expense. They are doing it. So
I like the way that you mentioned the strategies and how the farmers and the bandits have to find a level playing field, because of course food production is very important. We need to find a balancing food sufficiency for the people, and the onion farmers, for communities that are affected.
Exactly.
I was just amazed when I heard the steps,
they're able to find their own ways
their own ways.
Life must go on.
Groups, all of that measures, and so those that want to pay for peaceful harmony,
you can go ahead and do
your thing, but please give us the room
to do our stuff.
It shows how we've gotten to as a nation.
Honestly,
and how we have to survive
to cope.
and cope in the midst of all of this.
Let me add, if I can add also, there is this thing that the bandit also do. During production, you can see their activity is usually low during production, because even the bandit realize that, look, if we must continue do this banditry, food is very important for us. So let's allow these people to produce the food. Then during harvest, then we can now resume whatever activity that we want to resume and so on. So I can tell you, during production, the banditry, all their activity is very low. They will allow you, but they will resume their hostility and all attacks when the farmers are about to harvest their produce, because they know the farmers have started harvesting, they have started making money. So that season is the season for them to go into attack.
Okay, that shows that now that is the harvest season. Probably this is the reason why we're seeing the issues, the hot cake, the hot attacks there and there. For me, I feel this is really unfair. If you've given them opportunity to farm, why not allow them harvest?
Most times they already have paid before even the planting season, so why come after them even afterwards? So it's
really not a good thing to hear, that in the midst of all of this, we're trying to see how we can provide security for ourselves as farmers, and then still pay, settle the farmers for one to have what to eat. It's really a cause for concern. But really, let's
I'd like for us to move away from insecurity. We've talked about insecurity a lot. So now let's look at inclusivity as it concerns famine. We know that there's a saying that what men can do, women can even do even much better. So how is the level of inclusivity of women when it comes to participating in onion farming and also trading across Nigeria generally?
And we need to do that for us in 1 minute so that we can pick up other stuff that we need to talk to you about.
Okay, thank you very much. When you look at the ratio of men to women in the onion value chain, you can make it 60 to 40. In most cases, when it comes to pre-production, it's 90 to 10. But when it comes to marketing, I think women do more of the wholesaling and the retailing more than the men, especially in the southern part of the country. It is women that dominate the trading activities of the onion value chain. And also when you go to the processing aspect of it, is women that dominate the processing aspect of the onion value chain. And also when you go to the storage aspect of it, you can call it 50-50. Women are doing a lot in the storage of onion than men. So I think there is a well inclusivity in the onion subsector with regard to youth and women in the onion value chain, with each having its own contribution, some contributing in the marketing aspect, some contributing in the production aspect, some in the processing, and some in the storage.
Yes. So I like the way you break it down, that the women are salvaging and giving you an edge in the farming, basically. Kudos to your inclusivity for and how you carry the women basically in this farming part of it. So let's look at the post-harvest losses. Are major concerns for onion farmers. So how serious is this problem for the Nigerian onion farmer in way of ensuring that post-harvest losses is reduced the barest minimum?
Yeah, thank you very much. Like I said initially, is that we have a 10,000 metric ton facility in Kano. We have one under construction by Mofi Ministry of Finance Incorporated. We also have the onion processing plant of about 30,000 metric tons, and coupled with our traditional system of onion storage. Myself, I have a kind of a traditional onion storage facility. I have 93 on board. I'm going to make it 100 this week. And other farmers are doing that as well. But when we store in the traditional system, the post-harvest losses is about from 30 to 50%. And that is really contributing to food wastage in the country. And that is making the farmers to lose his economic value for his production. And that is in turn making us to lose a lot of money. But I love the intervention recently from the government to come, and from other private individuals, like there are private firm like Taste Food Limited that are working hard, that are trying to come and invest to collaborate with Bank of Industry to set up onion processing plant. And we also have the Raw Material Research and Development Council also collaborating with Bank of Industry to see to the operation of their onion and garlic processing plant that was set up in Sokoto. So I think a lot of intervention, a lot of attention is being drawn in that area of post-harvest losses. And from what I can see, I can say the government are taking a bold step in the right direction. And we just believe that after 1, 2, 3, 4, more private individuals, more private firm, more private company will come into the subsector so that they will see how they will set up these facilities so that they will reduce the post-harvest losses.
Amazing.
That is around.
Thank you so much. We see that a whole lot has been done. We want to really say a very big thank you to you, the presidents of the Onion Producers and Processors and Marketers Association of Nigeria and President of Mr. Samuel Aliyu Isa. Thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you for sharing insights and highlights in the realities farmers face across Nigeria. You've done a whole lot. We want to really appreciate your time with us on Global Morning, and we look forward to hearing more sharing news and how policymakers come around to support and more stakeholders get involved in ensuring that the onion value chain is getting more additional funds to the country's economy and adding more value to us. Thank you so much for your time. We look forward to more engagements with you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Well, a lot of things. Mutar
How's
kept
it
looking
been?
at me and he kept nodding and shaking his head. And I was wondering how people have to pay,
For their
bandits
own
for their own
farms.
survival, their farms. It's become a concern that needs, I don't know what word to use right now, Mutar.
I
Can
think
you help me
I
with
think we
what?
might. I don't know, but it's something that is really concerning because we can't say we intend to achieve food security. Not just the agric farmers. This is a story that revolves around the entire farming ecosystem. Farmers tell you that before we plant, we pay them tax in quotes. When we want to harvest, we have to still pay that tax, or before and after. So if you intend to do that, how can the farmers, it's like you're not incentivizing the farming ecosystem, because I would not want to go into farming and I know I have to pay taxation and then come and still pay the bandits. That is not something that would encourage people who are interested in farming to go into it. So it's something that's a matter of national importance, and the stakeholders, the ministry, the government, basically, they have to make sure that this is something that they tackle as a matter of urgency, because if you don't do that, food security in Nigeria would be more of a mirage or statement of policy rather than an actuality that we want to realize. So it's not really a good one, Anita.
Okay, so well, the good thing is when you look at Nigeria exports onions to several West African countries, and the questions would have been, so how strong is the export market currently? And I like the fact that he's able to break it down, talk about the different countries in which the Nigerian onion
Has gone across West Africa,
basically.
And he says they are even looking to move dominating the entire African
Which
continent.
makes a whole lot of sense, because we have the varieties
we do.
of the onions, and our onion, of course, is
What he said, we have very tasty onions.
You're gonna test it because
Of
it's your
course,
favorite.
it's one of my favorite vegetables, to be honest. I'm not going to lie about that. And one thing again he said was, because one of the issues we also face is post-harvest losses. But of course, they've been able to get mechanisms that will tackle this because no matter how much you produce, if you're not able to store effectively, then how would you be able to export if your onions go bad every single time that you import, you harvest? So post-harvest losses and the measures that they have taken to make sure that it is curtailed is something that's also commendable, and we hope to see other farmers learn from these, and they're also able to
across different
value chains, and they're able to minimize to the barest minimum levels and incidents of post-harvest losses, basically.
Okay, so I like all of that, but one of the things he also talked about that caught my attention is the processing industries, where the onion is now
made into powders and
flakes, which for those who don't like to see it, just like you like to see it.
I like to see mine, but if you don't like to do that, you have an alternative.
So you don't have alternative because they are putting in measures. Kudos to the association of the onion.
And one thing he said again with regards to this particular point is that we are importing these flakes from India. Why would we have to import, which is one of the bane of our agric sector, is that we import so many things, and yet not even
once the importation is reduced.
If you have this level, because he mentioned a lot of metric tons there, if we have this level, then why are you importing? So it's down for us now to make sure that we look inwards, utilize what we have to make sure we curtail the level of import, because we need to be exporting. If you really want to be a big player in that economy, you have to be a major exporter, not the other way around like we have right now.
Okay, well, there's a whole lot that has been talked about. We've seen where he's been able to talk to us about the storage facilities, which is usually a concern or obstacle, for perishables, and then because apart from insecurity, you have the issues around all of those things.
And of course, something that he said I know that you would like is the inclusivity aspect of it, which is the fact that women are actually major players in this industry. And he also mentioned youth. I didn't ask him about the community of people with disability, but I know, of course, they might have a place for them. So inclusivity is one that we've always clamor for to see in our agric sector, where people from diverse, whether you're a woman, you're a man, it doesn't matter. You
The
have
farmer
there's
just
a place
enjoy
for you.
farming.
Yes, exactly. And
Enjoy
you're
the
also,
farming.
because we've seen that sometimes they tend to marginalize certain communities because of their strata in society. But this person has said that they've been able to find a place for women, and I know that's a cherry news for Anita Patrick, who likes to advocate the cause of the women
You
folks.
can't blame me.
And of course, you drawn me into that
don't have a
particular. I don't have a
choice,
choice.
you do have a
You didn't
choice.
leave me with no choice, did you?
You don't have a choice but to stick with me and see how we can get an all-inclusive society where women are involved, the persons with disability are involved. Everyone is just carried along in the space.
Honestly.
And then the sectors across boards, is doing amazingly well, because that what we want is growth.
And you can't achieve growth with marginalization.
No, you can't.
All hands have got to be on deck. We all have to have the same mindset. We have to work towards that one goal, which is food security for Nigeria. And we all have to be stakeholders in that particular project.
Well, that's talking about this value chain of the food. That's the onion, and of course we've seen that they are blooming, and it's the harvest season. So if you're an onion farmer, I want to say congratulations to you, and I hope you had a lot of harvest, a beautiful one, bountiful one, which we also have to go to the markets and sell. But for those the challenges of the insecurity,
Yes.
where you need to now fight, when they come back to do their threats and all that, just be safe, please. Find a way, find a balance, get your head safe, because the tactics which they come with, just like the president mentioned.
Yes.
Just play the wisdom part and be alive first.
And of course, that does not exonerate the government from playing their own part
Yes.
in making sure that they ensure that these people are safe. Because it's the responsibility of the government primarily to assure that everyone's safety is guaranteed, and also giving them a level playing field. They're not asking you to give them everything.
No, not
They're just
everything.
saying give us the right environment to thrive. So they cannot achieve this without the government. Like Ambo, he said that the government has been an active player, very supportive in making sure that the aim is achieved. So more kudos to the sector to see that it eventually becomes one that thrives for all of us.
Okay, so talking about food, let's quickly bring you breakfast because it's time for us. Mukhtar is always happy to talk about breakfast
I'm
and
hungry
food. He's a
and-
foodie. But
What do we have for breakfast? I can't wait to see.
We have something for breakfast, so come with us as we join for taste and texture, and let's see what is available for us.
Fingers crossed,
Taste and
something
texture.
yummy.
When we come back, we'll talk about it and see how we enjoyed it. Stay with us.
Hello guys, this is to specially welcome you to this episode of Taste and Texture, and it promises to be as engaging as it will be eye-opening. On the show, we're going to prepare a tasty delicacy that is indigenous, and we will be preparing it from scratch. In today's episode of the program, we'll be preparing Nigerian pancakes, which is always a delicious and simple breakfast option. This one is a Nigerian pancake recipe that differs from the original pancake version. Here, plantain, scotch bonnet, and onions are added to the mixture. Also, this breakfast pancake can be made very quickly by anyone. In addition to the speed and ease of making it, it is also fun to make. Ingredients: flour, eggs, milk, sugar, salt, nutmeg, onions, scotch bonnet, and plantains. Step 1. Add your egg, milk, flour, nutmeg, salt, and plantain into a blender and blend till smooth. Pour the batter into a bowl. Add scotch bonnet and onions and mix. Step 2. Oil your pan till hot and add your batter. Cook your pancakes on medium to high heat. Flip your pancake after 2 minutes and allow to cook. Continue the process till your batter is all done. There you have it. Your Nigerian pancake is ready. You can pair it with pap, custard, or tea for full satisfaction. Enjoy! That's it on today's episode of the program Taste and Texture. Hope you will try this recipe in your various homes and hope you enjoyed the program. Join me same time next week for another episode of the program. I am Saadatu Garba. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.
Back. I hope you enjoyed that particular tasty meal of pancake as prepared from the our kitchen, and of course it's something that I enjoy a lot, and I'm sure you also did. I just need to get myself a cup of coffee or tea to make sure that that pancake, I step it down really nice and well. And of course that's taste and texture as it came to you, and I'm sure you enjoyed it. And after this, we'll be bringing to you our conversation, which will revolve around something around the economy, where we'll see the opportunities and the gains and, of course, the challenges that is intended in that economy. And of course, we'll also x-ray the projection of the World Bank and how it talked about Nigeria's level of economic indices, basically. We'll have conversations around that, and that will be after this particular timeout. And of course, Anita is also still here, and we're going to see how that conversation pans out.
Mukhtar, of course, there's a whole lot happening. We saw that. We don't talk about the food before we switch to good soon. You just want
I wanted to enjoy the meal all by myself. But sorry, Anita.
Pancake is
how did you see that pancake?
You cannot afford to miss.
I think I'm still salivating already.
You can imagine. Because you're a foodie, of course, we will not blame you on that.
Don't blame me. Don't blame me. Blame it on the food.
Well, there you see it. Kudos to Saadatu. Thank you for being an amazing chef and giving us a good idea of what to sit back and enjoy. A whole lot of ways you can.
How do you like your pancake?
I like it with a very fresh, what's it called? Oatmeal. I can do that with oatmeal.
And that's going to be really filling and satisfying.
Very
I can
filling.
imagine
So for someone like me who's looking forward to a nap after a long day, if I have that, trust me, it's a way to shut down, just sleep
for many
and
hours,
recover and feel better. So that's one way I enjoy it. And also because I don't want to do coffee. Coffee is going to keep me awake.
It's not going to make you sleep.
It's not going to make me relax. Or you could, would that go?
What's that? Tell me. Let me try.
But I think for me that's the best way to go. Some people tell you fresh, good yogurt, or what's it called? Greek yogurt.
Greek yogurt, the healthy one.
The healthy one. Some people might like it that way. Some people might like the tea.
I actually would fall into the category of taking it to tea, even though you said, like you said, it won't really help you sleep well. But I think for the flavor and the combination,
that comes with
just give me a big cup of tea alongside that pancake, and I have a complete breakfast.
Of course, when you're a foodie, you have a lot of things.
That's how I'm smiling.
You want to just jump at it, but where we have it, so it's an idea for you. Get to get something very nice like that and enjoy. Breakfast is an idea we just sold to you. It's a Saturday, so get it. Sit down in front of your TV and enjoy, because we have loads lined up for you. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
In an age of breaking news, you need a trusted source that prioritizes accurate, factual, and unbiased reporting. This is AM News, and I am Ubong Osoro.
On global television, our news is rooted in verified and authoritative storytelling that keeps you educated, informed, and enlightened on all the issues that matter to you. I am Sadia Yakubu. This is Midday News.
You can trust our multi-platform news broadcast real-time and fast-check stories for all the big local and foreign headlines round the clock. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. This is News Express.
Our array of anchors delivers the news to our teeming viewers, breaking it down with context and perspective. This is News Cycle on Global Television. I am Anieti Patrick.
And the flagship news is your hub for the day's most engaging stories. This is News Prime, and I am Jumai Manson.
Did you miss any of our news rounds? No worries. Catch up at 10 p.m. and midnight, 7 days of the week. I am Mukhtar Kasim.
Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. We're active across all social media platforms at Global TV NG.
Global TV News, accurate and unbiased. I'm Uyi Agmofwebe.